Hey, welcome to Butcher Bay Rejects. I'm Mark.
I'm Greg. What's up, nerds?
This is our pre-holiday show.
Yes.
Right before the holidays.
Yeah, this will be the last episode before Christmas. So we are going to cover, in order, Dexter, New Blood, latest episode of Hawkeye, episode 5, one more left. We're covering season 2 of The Witcher, the first 2 episodes, because Mark didn't have time to binge it all. And because...
I was thinking of you.
Thank you. And probably you had to work, I'm guessing, somewhere in there. And, of course... We're covering probably the only movie from the 80s that Mark has not seen, and I still don't know his thoughts on it, but I can't wait to hear him. A Christmas Story, 1983's A Christmas Story, directed by Bob Clark. So that's because it's Christmas. So we're going to get into that at the end of the episode. Are you ready to jump into Dexter, sir?
Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, was quite a bit of a triangle there. Harrison's got 2 dads now. This seems like a sitcom, right? My 2 dads, and both are serial killers. Oh boy, I gotta stop giggling when I talk about Dexter. I'm sorry. You let me hear your thoughts. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's you definitely got the love triangle and or the parental triangle, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Or paternal. That sounds better. Paternal triangle. Right now, Kurt is like giving Harrison everything he wants, right? He's giving him support. He's giving him, love, hugs, and all that sort of shit. And sort of like being what Dexter's father was to him. While Dexter himself he's trying to figure out how to approach it. He doesn't want to necessarily reveal, I know you're a serial killer and we're going to help you deal with that. It's all that. And I mean, the therapy session alone, speaks volume as to he's way out of his element.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking that. He hasn't fully come to grips with his dark passenger, so to speak, even though I don't know if the break that was a genuine breakthrough in therapy or it was an act. I don't know, but
well, he seems to be still avoiding the questions, right? He's still kind of being coy and so on, and Harrison's picking up on it. Harrison is seeing right through his bullshit, so it's like
well, we're also seeing a lot more Harrison's true nature, like in the wrestling match where he snapped the wrestler's arm in half, even though the guy was clearly tapping. But that's, that being an MMA guy, that's the referee's fault. I mean, he had that arm on the breaking point for a very, very long time, and he was tapping for a long time. The referee should have jumped on that immediately. But
I think also the fact that Harrison was pissed at his dad, and he sees his dad in the stands, and he just kind of like, and just decides, fuck you, and takes it too far.
Well, right? That guy, and the elbow from the other wrestler to the face or nose didn't help matters either.
Well, that just compounded the whole thing, right? And then Kurt's encouraging him to, release the rage.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, but. You learn a lot more in this episode about everybody, which is kind of interesting. First of all, Dexter's found out, and did he not fucking tap dance his way out of that with his girlfriend?
True. I mean, he thought it was actually Molly Park, the podcast host, that outed him. Like he didn't even realize that it was really, his girlfriend ran into Angel, and then he goes from wanting to kill Molly Park to saving her life. And man, I love that scene because Dexter, like I said, he can smell his own, right? So he figures Kurt right away is, whatever, him or whatever. So he's like blowing up his spot, so to speak, like, oh, look at the camera. Oh, maybe he's in the bathroom, the door only locked from the
the door locks from the outside. Hey, is that the bathroom? Oh, I love a jacuzzi tub.
When he's going to leave, open or close, and he goes to close it, and Carlos puts his hand on the door to not get locked in his own, kill cabin.
Well, yeah.
Too funny. Yeah, so I think it's how I predicted. There's going to be this massive, whatever Godzilla Mothra fight at the end with those two, and Harrison's gonna, who knows what side he's gonna take.
Well, I think it's all going to come out in the open at that point, because I think it's all going to happen in front of Harrison. But then, you have blanked on her name.
Which one?
The sheriff.
Oh, Angela.
Angela, that's it. Okay.
Angela, yeah.
She's like, you lied to me. Well, he had a kind of good reason to lie. You know what I mean? Like, based on his explanation, you could be pissed, but you could be open to that kind of a reasoning, right?
Yeah.
But then, when she decides to go spelunking, and see, I'm surprised they didn't run into the bear, because that's the first thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Wasn't that the same cave that Dexter went in?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, they found the man-made the wall, and they went in, and she finds her childhood friend in there, and it's like, ooh, okay. And then when she calls him, I don't need you, I need Dexter Morgan, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, we know that Caldwell should have took a page out of Dexter's book. If you don't find the body, then you never find clues and whatnot. But
the thing now, I'm curious as to where the other bodies are. And did you notice, like, okay, he's tried to repair her face.
Yeah, well, we still don't know. Well, we don't have that reveal. Obviously, we don't know what he's doing with them yet, but that's probably going to the remains to be seen. But yeah, he tried to.
Well, I have
make
some
a patch.
thoughts. I have some thoughts. For those of you listening, our Kurt killer shot the girl in the face, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. He got freaked out, and he's trying to repair the damage. And first thing I thought, this guy's taxiderming them.
Yeah, probably.
That's why he's shooting him in the back, so there's less damage. He's got him on the he's got the table right there, right? And he's trying to repair the face. He's trying to make it look good, because they're his trophies, and he's taxiderming them to put them on display somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's another room in the cabin, or if he's got another special place.
Dumbest thing you could do, yeah, if you're trying not to get caught, sure.
Well, yeah, that, or he has like a secret basement in his real house with all that. But I mean, like I said, it's like, okay, the creep factor just went up like 100% right there.
Yeah, maybe the billionaire's buying them off him. I don't know. He could afford it, right?
You never know. You never know.
Well, another funny scene, because you mentioned Angela and Dexter. Like, I loved how call back to the first episode where she pulls him over and he's like getting ready for sex. He's got a smile on his face.
Yes,
she's like, "Get back to the station. You follow me." He's like, "Whoops."
He goes, "No, I'll follow you to make sure you get there."
He was practically unzipping, like, "Oh, here we go again."
Okay. When he walks in, the receptionist is there going, "Whatever you did, just apologize."
Exactly. Oh man, well, been there, right? Okay.
Yeah. But no, there's definitely they've definitely taken this on an interesting twist. Because until now, everything's been kind of like, what? But now you got a lot more definitive things happening, and you're seeing the characters a little bit more in depth, so you can really jump more into it. And I think the next few episodes leading up to the end is going to be quite interesting.
Yep. Yeah, we're gearing up for a showdown, that is for sure.
Yeah, and he's only had one person on the table, so
yeah, he's not for lack of trying.
Not for lack of trying.
But yeah, when you break your code, then the bad stuff happens there. So yeah, in the old days, he'd be researching a kill for a month. This one, he's like, "Hey, you sold my son drugs. I'm going to get you in the parking lot." Okay. With the cops pulling up.
He had a few improvised ones in the first series, so.
Yeah, well, I remember once he killed someone by accident because he was casing the place. See, he would case the place for weeks, and he had his knife out and he turned a corner and a guy ran into it. So that was an accident, but I'm just saying he did his homework. He thoroughly researched, and when he would take them and make sure no one was around, and and obviously not being seen talking to them at a diner with a ton of people in there,
and not jumping in right before the police raids the place.
Yeah, exactly. Woo, boy.
That he knows the police are going to raid the place.
Exactly. That's what they do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm chomping at the bit to get to Hawkeye, episode 5, Ronin. I mean, should we just blurt out what happened? I mean, it's not. You know what I said last week? This episode was supposed to blow our minds, but it didn't blow my mind because all the clues were there, and they shouldn't have used his voice, that little laugh that he did in those first couple episodes, because it would have been more of an impact. So it wasn't. I'm happy about it. I'm sure you are, because we've been waiting
I
for
still
this
squealed
for
when
so
I saw
long.
it.
Yeah, even though it was a grainy, Zapruder-like film photo of him on an ancient cell phone. Yeah, it was still something, right? I mean, but as you know by now, if you haven't, spoilers, Vincent D'Onofrio, the big man, the Kingpin, was featured right at the end of episode 5.
They just canonized the Netflix shows.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
They're here.
Happened.
I mean, we did have Kevin Feige announcing Charlie Cox is Daredevil. He's going to be Daredevil. He's going to be Daredevil in the MCU. So we knew that. But, Kingpin in Hawkeye, yeah, okay. Ecstatic. Super happy about that. Plus, you got to see more of your favorite girl, Elena.
Yes. Oh.
And how much fun was that interaction?
The macaroni scene?
The macaroni scene.
Yeah, no, I love Florence Pugh. Yeah, this was I even from the beginning where we're showing the flashback where she thinks she's dosing a former widow there, and she's like, "Hey, you ruined my carpet." She goes,
"Yeah,
what do you mean?" She goes, "Oh, you're rich. Oh, okay. How do you afford all this?" So yeah, it turns out she's not the hostage of some rich guy. She's actually still killing people for money and bought a nice place. And then
probably through Valentina.
Yeah, and then we get to see Yelena go through the snap, which we don't really see too often. Like, she's in the bathroom and vaporizes.
But that was well done, where it was snap and come right back and just change everything around her. And it was just
the bathroom got painted green for some reason. But hey, I'm on board. And then comes out, finds out her friend adopted. I'm sure they didn't really talk about it too much, but I'm sure there was a lot of kids that got adopted in that meantime, right? When the parents got snapped, but they don't talk about it. So maybe that's what happened.
Well, I mean, it's a great perspective of what happens to. I mean, we saw a little bit of what happened to someone who got snapped and came back in WandaVision.
Yes.
Okay, so we saw a little bit of dealing with that and trying to. Now it's like. With Yelena, it's the snap and coming back to find out that her sister was killed.
Yeah, and not only that, she did find out who hired her, and in that photo with Kingpin was Eleanor, Kate Bishop's mom. So so she's really the big bad, and
well, it's a nice twist, right? You first think it's.
She there's something off about her from the beginning with me, and of course the comics she's known as the Red Mask or something like that, or in that Mac Fraction storyline, but obviously they could change some of that around. But I'm not okay. So I'm not confused, right? So when Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, does confront Maya, he does admit to. He says, "I was hired by your uncle, the big man." So he did kill her father? Is that what that was him? Because then she questions the clown guy after, like, you were in town, how come you weren't at that meeting? So
no, he got an informant. An informant rolled over on her father. That guy being the informant.
No, but Hawkeye said the big man, your uncle, hired me. So, but did that mean he actually did it, or he didn't do it? He didn't kill her father. Who killed her father? Who was in the Ronin costume? Was it Hawkeye?
Yeah, it was Hawkeye.
Oh, it was him. Okay, so he admitted it then.
Yeah, but he wasn't after people for hire. He wasn't an assassin for hire. He was just going after bad guys. He had a list and what? So the uncle didn't hire him. Kingpin didn't hire him.
And who did? He was just going. You were saying.
Well, I don't think he.
You're just saying he was going.
Got hired.
Oh, you're just saying he deemed them bad, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was going after organized crime. Like if you go back to Infinity War, right before he was taking down cartels. He was taking down.
Yeah, he was in Tokyo. Yeah,
Yakuza. Yeah. He was taking down. He was going after bad guys, and obviously, Tracksuit Mafia was part of that whole thing. But her father, the person that gave up her father, was the lieutenant. Hawkeye, Ronin, pressured him, used him as an informant. Like the guy gave him up to save his own skin.
Okay.
And then that was that. So like she realized that this guy betrayed him. So I think there's a little twist in the turn in there. So,
okay.
But I mean, like I said, this was this was great all around. It has such a good sense of itself. This show, especially when he calls his wife, and she's like, "I know you didn't call me for permission,"
Yeah.
Like she knows him so well, and she knows that what he's got to do to get through all this and to make sure the family is safe and such, and she understands that, and it's like, it's like, this is great, I love this. And then again, like you said, he puts on the suit, and then he comes back, and away you go. And like just Kate trying to call him, "Okay, leaving you another message," fills the voice box.
Yeah, the classic stalker girlfriend. It's almost like Fatal Attraction. Yeah. I will not be ignored, Dan. It's like, I thought that was she was just this close to leaving that message. Oh, but how about that macaroni scene again, where actually Yelena connects Hawkeye to the new Spider-Man movie coming out the 17th, because she says she starts talking about stuff to see in New York. She said, "I want to see the new improved Statue of Liberty," and of course in the trailer you see the shield, Captain America's shield, is on the Statue of Liberty. So that's a little tie-in there.
Well, everything about that scene was great, because Kate's completely on her guard, and Yelena's like, "I'm just having macaroni. You want macaroni? It's good. You done? I'm going to put hot sauce on it."
Yeah, the very bottle that Kate threw at her head, and she caught.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, "One fork? Well, there's only me. Plastic is not cutlery."
Yeah.
It was great. I loved how she was so casual about everything. Well, you might want to go to the Rockefeller. "Oh yes, to see the tree."
Yeah.
Like she's like,
well, yeah,
genuinely.
Well, she said she loved the American Christmases, and if you remember in Black Widow, they had that little montage of them, going through growing up, and they showed them at Christmas time too.
Yeah, exactly. So like the whole thing about it is just great, and like I really, really, really hope that she's in the next episode.
Yeah, me too. It's one left, so they really got to wrap all this up. I mean, it's just wants you more. Like, why are these only 6 episodes? Like, shows that are 10 or 12, you don't need to be, but these ones are like, why only 6?
Well, I'm hoping there's a season 2 brewing with this. Or at least
her own show. Yeah, or her own show, and then have guest stars type of thing. I could see happening.
Yeah, tell it from Yelena's perspective, and then after she leaves that whole situation, and then you get a little closure with it, but then it moves on. But I mean, you got Kingpin, bring in Daredevil.
Well,
Daredevil and Yelena going at it.
Yeah, well, I do think Charlie Cox is in the new Spider-Man, but to me that's the world's worst kept secret. But whatever, I'll wait to see it.
Yeah. Well, if he shows up in Hawkeye, that'll be like the surprise of the lifetime.
Well, yeah, because there's been no hints whatsoever to that. I mean, we had some Kingpin hints, but if they do that, then then that's a bomb.
Well, that was also Vincent D'Onofrio. He was just free tweeting.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They couldn't contain him because when this show premiered, he was tweeting it. So why would he do that?
Yeah. I loved the last image in the
white suit.
Well, not the image on the phone, but in the credits.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, because you reminded me. How did you love my two of my favorite Christmas songs are in this? You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, in the end credits for him. And of course, they at the beginning they did Charlie Brown's Christmas Time by Vince Guaraldi. Yep. So yeah, and of course they showed his silhouette right on the rooftop. I think.
Yeah. Well, his silhouette was like in the skyline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But and I'm saying. No end credit scenes.
They're not, but there's some clues in those drawings, right? But
there's clues in the drawing. I want to see an end credit scene. I want to see a oh my god.
Me too.
And then be on the edge of my seat till next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that reminds me, just when you finish The Witcher, there's a end credit scene, but for a spin-off show of The Witcher with starring Michelle Yeoh, which. Obviously, I didn't watch because I'm not at the end, but
I'll let you know.
Yeah, no. Speaking of The Witcher, shall we jump in?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice who directed the first 2 episodes we're covering?
No. I didn't
Concordia grad Stefan Surjik, who I'm trying to get on the show. If you recall, he directed Wayne's World 2. And he directed a lot of our shows on Netflix that we love, like Jessica Jones and Defenders. So he directed the first 2 episodes of season 2 of The Witcher, starring Henry Cavill.
Did a good job.
I'm glad they did a recap because there's a lot
to remember.
Has it been a year or 2 years since we've had?
It's been a year.
Yeah, but funny how much you forget, right? I mean.
Oh yeah. I'm like, okay, what town was
exactly.
that? No.
It was hard to understand. Period. The first, because I didn't think Netflix did a good job. They came out after a few episodes later. They came out with a storyboard and timeline, which they should have had from the beginning. But I was even watching the recap. I found it hard to piece it all together.
What's that guy's name? Mr. Mixelplick?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mr. Pedelik.
Yeah, and of course we see an introduction of a new character. Our boy Tormund's Giantsbane from Game of Thrones is in there, and man, does he look weird with
fast?
Yeah, does he look weird without that beard or what? Oh my God, at the end when the
But you know what? I'm gonna give a major shout out to the FX team for the head that they put on him.
Yeah, I was wondering. Was that the dots, or did he have 6 cameras on him? Type of.
I'm guessing it was the dots, but the thing is, to make a pig's tusks and whatnot, and have the mouth movements look that natural. That was a stroke of brilliance. That definitely was right on, and all the facial expressions and everything. My God, that was so well done.
Yeah.
So for me, I saw that and I'm like, oh Jesus.
And so we find out Yennefer Vengemir didn't die at the end by saving the battle and lighting everyone on fire. She's still alive, of course. Geralt of Rivia doesn't know she's alive, and he teams up with Ciri. Is it Ciri, the girl?
Yeah.
I kind of like the second episode because it was very reminiscent. It was I said it was if the Night's Watch and the training montage to Rocky 5, where he goes to Russia, or 4, got together. That's what it looked like to me. Because now Ciri wants to be a fighter, so she's being trained by Geralt and the rest of the Witchers. So.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a beautiful cinematography. I like the locations they went. Spared no expense. It looked great.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, I mean, most of that was green screen CG, right?
Yeah. Well, no, but
they had a few sets built, but for the most part,
no, but they were on location somewhere in Ireland or wherever they shot. They weren't in California, that's for sure.
No. But I mean, for the wide scoped shots, they were in a field, but the rest was.
Oh yeah. Those mountains were probably all CG.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. The more I'm learning about how this is done, and like I said, I've been dabbling a bit with Unreal Engine, and the stuff you can do with it is just absolutely astonishing. So I mean, we're talking, we're in for a whole new gold standard of computer generated beauty. But going back to what the stories and whatnot, I like that they are self-containing a few. Like you still have a bit of an overarching story, but they're still putting in little stories together, like him at his friend's place, right?
Yeah.
And he's got he love kills, I tell you. Where the monster stays because she likes him, like it's weird what love does. Monsters loving monsters.
Yeah, and he lets her, feed on her because he can't die, right? So he figures, hey, why not?
Yeah. Like what kind of imagine having that kind of magic where you just fucking yell something and it drops out of the sky.
Oh yeah, it's almost like being on the bridge of the Star Trek, right? You get any food you want.
Well, when he drops the food and if it bounces off the table onto the ground, like okay, and now relax. Don't throw your arms down so hard that they,
That's right.
but no, it's like I said, the I like the bond that Geralt is having with Ciri and how it's developing. Dealing with a teenager. And in the second episode where you're with the other Witchers and he's kind of getting parenting advice from the guy that raised him. Were you ready? No. Like
I just realized, or actually I did know that Freya Allen, who plays Ciri, played, not your favorite movie, but Gunpowder Milkshake. She played the young Sam. But she had red hair, so I completely, what a chameleon of actor. I had no idea that was her. Sorry, there you go. Just wow, pretty good acting. Anyway, she looks a lot older. I mean, I know only years passed. It seems like 3 years passed. She kind of shot up like Will did in Lost in Space, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, so you know what? Sometimes that happens. It's like, oh, hi, you're 6 feet tall now.
Yeah, exactly. Start smoking. Trying to shrink you. Try and stunt your growth.
No, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the other episodes are.
I think there's only is there only 8? I think there's only 8, right? I think I just checked ahead.
Not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not 10. But all in all, I mean, I'm watching. I like it better than The Wheel of Time. I don't think I've mentioned yet. I am watching The Wheel of Time on Amazon, but it's definitely not Mark's bag, and I don't really like it. I'm just watching it because I have it. So, but Witcher 2 is better than Wheel of Time.
I saw the trailer and I was kind of like, okay, but then again, I was like, is it just kind of Game of Thrones again?
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
not even. No, nothing holds a candle to Game of Thrones. No.
Well, that's just it. Like everybody's trying to get a piece of that, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of
They're
like
trying hard, but
is it just, or is it So, no, I think Witcher has its own flavor.
Yeah, I like it better than Wheel of Time for sure. Hands down.
And I mean, Henry Cavill plays this character so.
Oh yeah, I mean this is his role. I mean, he's just got such a lackadaisical. I love what he does. I live for that moment. Talking to Roach. I mean, those are the moments I like. The horse, horse Roach.
Yeah. Get on Roach and stay there.
Yeah.
If anything but me comes out, run.
Yeah, exactly. Oh lordy.
No, like I said, I it's something to watch where you can watch it during any time and you'll enjoy it. It's good to fill in the time. It's also good to be invested.
Yeah.
So I think whether you're super into it or not, there's a little bit for everybody in it.
Yeah. Speaking about something for everyone, you ready to do a Christmas story? Let me just set it up before you say anything. So, 1983, you remember a very popular movie, which it was made in Canada, funded in Canada, called Porky's. Now, Bob Clark directed Porky's. I'm sure you've seen Porky's and all the sequels, correct? Well,
yes. He
got this idea from a book, by Gene Shepard. And he said, when Porky's became a hit, the studio approached him immediately for a sequel, money, money, money. He said, look, I'll do the sequel, but I want to do a Christmas story before the sequel. And they said, sure, okay. And of course, The movie wasn't a hit at the time at all, actually. I mean, when it came out in 83, it's only when TBS bought it. In 88, they did as a joke, they did a 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story, but people got used to it. Now, every year, TBS does the same 24-hour, starting on Christmas Eve. They run the movie for 24 hours. So it wasn't a hit right away. And like I said, this is probably one of the only movies you have not seen from the 80s. So just tell me what you like about it, because I love this movie. Okay.
Well, there was a reason why I didn't watch it in the 80s, and it permeated all the way through.
Come on. There were some nice moments there. You must have liked some. Come on, Scott Farkas, the bully. I mean, just the voiceover of Gene Shepard alone, to me, was the movie, because Scott Farkas, what
Honestly,
a horrible name.
I fell asleep halfway through it.
You did not. You didn't even finish it?
I did. No, I finished it.
Okay.
I fell asleep. I woke up and I was like,
it didn't bring
playing?
anything back for you. It didn't touch any nerve, even when
no. I like I said, like a period piece in the 50s just
actually the 40s. It took
40. Oh, even worse.
Before World War II, December 1940.
Yeah.
Actually.
So like for me, the whole thing is just like, oh, really? And they got the radio shows. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, Little Orphan Annie. Well, it was December 1940, so they of course it was radio.
Yeah. So it's like exactly. Well, like I didn't know it was the 40s, but I was just like, I knew it was old because of the environment. But like even still, it just nothing for me. Like really.
You got to give me one thing. Hey, I liked one thing about Transformers the movie. You made me watch. You got to give me one thing you liked. Billingsley, something, I don't know.
Honestly, no.
Oh,
it really. I mean,
Tiny Tim's turning over in his grave right now. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. We found him. He's here.
Oh, it's not anything.
Come on, when the mom saves him from the beating from his father. I mean, come on, that didn't touch you. Like, he thought for sure he was dead. His little brother thought he was going to get killed by the father, but his mom kind of absorbs all that.
No, that was a touching moment. Yeah,
and he realized he wasn't going to get killed. I mean, I thought that was a nice scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was a touching moment, but I mean, the whole thing is just kind of like, yeah. Overall, for me, just didn't do much. Like I was just like,
well,
I can say I've watched it, and I don't ever need to see it again.
Well, you at least like Christmas Vacation, right?
There's plenty of Christmas movies.
Well, no, I'll just hold on.
There's plenty of Christmas movies that I love.
Well, you like You like Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, right?
Well, yeah, I love Christmas Vacation.
So I'll hold on to that then.
Oh yeah, if you want to do Christmas movies, for me, like you got Christmas Vacation, you got Scrooged, one of the my all-time favorites Christmas movies. Die Hard. I still Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I still say Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie, even though I know you've opposed that selection. You even like Trading Spaces, Gremlins.
Yeah, no. Trading Spaces, I would put there. Sure.
Trading Places, sorry.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy.
Gremlins, So I mean, there's lots to go around. I mean, you can go Lethal Weapon 2 as well. That happened during Christmas. But
I know and I love Jingle All the Way. I know you don't like it, but I kind of like that movie.
Jingle All the Way. You know what? I couldn't get into it. I think at the time I just felt like there was too many Schwarzenegger movies.
Well, the Phil Hartman and Schwarzenegger scenes were the best for me. Obviously, Phil Hartman's a genius, right? So he just nailed that role. I mean, can't bench press your way out of this one. He was just giving it to Arnie the whole movie. Being this smart ass neighbor. Yeah,
but like I said, there were some that just resonate, and some just okay, I saw it. It was all right. I mean, Christmas Vacation is part of that's part of the holy grail of Christmas movies.
Yep. It's my number one for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, it's in my top 5. Scrooged for me is my favorite, because I mean I so love Bill Murray. Yeah,
me too.
This just his rant around the conference room table. I have to kill you. The night the reindeer died.
Well, even the end credit scene where he's. I would have loved to have been in a theater then and see if the people in the theater are actually, okay, now this side, that side. Okay.
Well, I mean, which came first, Scrooge or Ferris Bueller?
Oof. Bueller,
because it was they did the same thing.
Well, Bueller kind of talked to the audience. He was telling us to go home, wasn't he?
Yeah. He came he came out after the end of the credits going, "You're still what? You're still here?"
But Bill Murray was keeping the sing along going. He's like, okay, just the men. No, now the real men. So I'm wondering if that actually happened.
Well, I mean, I saw Scrooge in the theaters when it came out, and yeah, everybody did do it. It was like. It was hysterical. So yeah, no, for me, that I guess you could say the overly traditional type of Christmas.
Well, we can add a new Ted Lasso short to your favorite. They combined the Rankin Bass animation with some Ted's mustache goes
Ted Lasso.
Go missing, which was a nice holiday surprise for us. So that was unexpected, but nice.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really, really sweet.
Yeah. It was. I'm probably going to rewatch the Christmas episode since Apple's got it queued up for me too. So because remember we saw that in the summer, we're like, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Christmas episode.
I still like it. Keely told me to fucking come in here to say Merry fucking Christmas. Yeah. And they beep it out with a bow on his face.
Yeah. Well, he gives his caterpillar eyebrows at Ted and then just grows two more by popping him out of his head.
Yeah, that was so well done. So well done. And it comes back to the magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in Ted Lasso is gold. I mean, the day that Ted Lasso fails, civilization just crumbles.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing left to live for. You just take all the money Apple throws at you, Jason Sudeikis. You keep churning out those seasons. We don't care.
Beard walks up, gives him a beard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it peels everything off. Ow. No. I mean, I still go through YouTube, and even though I got all the episodes, I can watch them all over and over and over again. I just find clips on YouTube. I can't help but watch them.
Yeah.
The whole Jamie wanting Roy to coach him. Why won't you coach me? Because you're a prick. You're the prince prick of all pricks.
All right, let's not get you down a Ted Lasso rabbit hole again. Okay, we're supposed to be on the theme of Christmas here. Okay.
Time to give him the signal. By no chance you didn't change it, do you? Nope. That's just what I've been watching lately.
Well, yeah.
No,
I know. But I wanted to.
But queuing up for Christmas,
yes.
Yeah. No, I've got my playlist ready.
Do you like the Grinch, the animated, the old?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, good.
I prefer it to any of the newest ones, Jim Carrey or even like
too.
the Benedict Cumberbatch thing. I mean, come on, Boris Karloff doing the narrating. You cannot get better than that.
Yep.
Even it was Boris Karloff that did the song, right?
No, he didn't do the song. It was actually the guy that was he was a James Bond villain, actually. If you remember the Roger Moore one, where I think he was a black voodoo guy. That's him, actually. And
that's Live and Let Die.
Yeah, and that guy was actually the voice of Tony the Tiger. That's him. Great, that's him.
Really?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, a very distinguished voice career. And what's your favorite scene in that cartoon?
Oh my gosh.
Well, mine is his heart grew 3 sizes that day when the.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, the sled is slowly descending, and the dog is pulling on him, and the camera zooms in his face.
At a certain point, your lip starts quivering, your eyes start to water, and you're like, then he lifts up the sleigh, and you're like, yeah.
Well, of course, where he, when he's going originally down to, Whoville, and he's got the dog on the rope. He throws the dog out in front, but then the dog pops up. And he's looking for the dog, and the dog sticks one paw out and is waving at him from the back of with his shoulders, scrunch his shoulders. Yeah.
You see the antler sticking out of the snow as he's running. I love it. I've got that on DVD.
Me too. Well, I have it on DVD.
Yeah.
I bought it on Apple, so I have it in my library. I can download it anytime.
No, growing up, my go-to night was the night that they were aired Charlie Brown Christmas, The Grinch, Rudolph, and Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. I
Usually-
did like the
usually
little
they had-
drummer boy, but I couldn't. When the lamb dies, it just got me every time. I mean, like I can't handle that anymore. But that was a Rankin Bass.
Yeah. But like, when usually there was one night before the holidays, or it would be over 2 nights where you would get Charlie Brown and the Grinch, and then you get Rudolph and Frosty.
Yep.
And then you just kind of sit there. And it was usually like, that was the 8 o'clock slot, right? Where each was a half-hour show, and you just, made sure your homework was done, and when you run downstairs and sit in front of your tube TV and just,
That's a pretty good night.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
no, that was the magic time for me. I mean, I'm sure same for many, many people out there. It was just like that was the thing, right? So
Thurl Ravenscroft. What a name. Oh my God, eh? Thurl Ravenscroft.
got to bring that name back in a movie.
Yeah.
Thurl Ravenscroft.
Thurl. Thurl.
He was what? Which voice was he?
He was the You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. He's the singer of.
He was the
that.
mean one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he sounds like a villain. He should be a Thurl Ravenscroft.
Thurl Ravenscroft. Doesn't get much better than that.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely. I gotta write that down for me so that I could remember it as a villain for we got to do a short where it's like up against Thurl Ravenscroft.
Okay. He wasn't even credited. He wasn't even credited in the closing credits at all.
No,
it's often mistakenly attributed to Boris Karloff because the voices were similar, right? But no.
Yeah. Well, the voices were similar. I mean, my gosh. Yeah. No. The whole that's just the best. Oh man.
Well, I guess that wraps.
Saw a couple of trailers.
Sorry,
today.
you did? Okay, like what?
The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
but I was more into the Brad Pitt cameo at the end. As
Well, no, I liked all that. For some reason, I thought this was funny. Like, it's got a level of stupidity in it, but I think it was the introduction where they had Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum kind of talking, and then they open the doors and Daniel Radcliffe's like, "Oh, hey guys," like. I think Daniel Radcliffe is getting off on being a villain.
Yeah, no, it's.
Like
I just watched him in another movie on Netflix about how he played a true story of a guy escaped from a South African prison during apartheid. It wasn't a villain, but yeah, I see what you mean. He's gotten so far away from Harry Potter, kind of like.
Yeah, he's got great comedic timing too.
Yeah.
But like in Now You See Me Too, he was an ass.
Yeah.
He was very much an ass, like almost pulling like a Hangover like thing where he's taking pictures of everybody in really compromising positions, and I was like, okay, that's kind of dark. The other one, the one you sent me, Home Team.
Oh yeah.
Kevin James.
The true story there. Yeah, the football coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see Taylor Lautner getting some work.
Yeah, well, he's part of the Adam Sandler. This is an Adam Sandler production, so yeah, he's part of that crew now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Happy Madison production, which is why Kevin James is starring in it. Yeah.
Oh, I like Kevin James. Like he had a NASCAR show that did what, one season?
Yeah, it wasn't renewed. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was. I liked it.
But that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I love King of Queens, right? I'm a big King of Queens fan, so.
Yeah. I even liked him in Hitch.
Oh, Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah. Playing that whole insanity kind of guy. Trying to get a date. Jumping over everybody. Use my pen!
Well, he's an everyman, so that's what's his appeal, right?
Yeah, for sure. Think of the trailer. He's like, did Dennis just fall down? Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not quite. He doesn't like contact. He knows he's playing football, right? I don't know. I guess it's just a football theme thing for me.
Okay.
I mean, I love the longest yard.
Yeah, me too.
The Adam Sandler one.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone, we'd like to, since we'll be seeing you after Christmas, we're going to wish you a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. All right. And, of course.
And everybody else, a happy holidays.
We'll be back before the new year.
Enjoy your time.
This will be our last episode before the big 25th. So we hope you have a...
Stay safe with your families.
Yes.
And, enjoy the holidays. Everybody's kind of trying to grit through the hard times now. So, we wish you guys all the best in this time of year. Well, we wish you the best all year, but
season's
even
greetings.
More so now. That's it. All right. So, you can find us on our social media. Search for us on YouTube, Butcher Bay Rejects. You can search for us on Twitter, @Bay Rejects. You can search for us on Facebook, @Butcher Bay Rejects, and our website, butcherbayrejects.com. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
And you can find us on all your podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Alexa Tune In, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Spotify. And that is that. This has been Butcher Bay Rejects. I'm Mark.
I'm Greg. See you next week, nerds.
See you next week. Be safe. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.